Hi friends, welcome back to Nessa's Nook. Now tonight I am going to make a meal, but I've never really showed you the whole thing of how I make this. And I went to go check my freezer and I didn't want to dig all the way through my freezer. So I'm like, guess what? Instead of chicken breast, it's going to be actually turkey or chicken thighs, boneless, of course. So what I'll be doing is anyone who has an Instapot, I don't know for sure if you're anything like me at all. I mean, the day gets away from you, nothing's thought out. Then you're like, oh my gosh, and then you feel like you have to go out when you've got an Instapot, Ness. You've got an Instapot. So stop with all that. I've been eating out way too much, more than we normally should. That's one of the reasons also no dinner videos, because there's been nothing to cook. Anywho, so I'll bring you down here. I have my little 3-quart Instapot out here. And that's probably one of my favorites. I do love my Rio. My Rio has its place when I'm doing bigger things. I do my 6-quart when I make my yogurt, and I use my 8-quart when I pre-cook my hamburger to make it for the freezer. So I'll bring you down here and show you how this is working. I have a different mic on today, so you're gonna have to let me know if you think that's working out for you. Now I'm gonna go ahead and raise this and drop this down. See if you can maybe see it. Yeah, look at that. Maybe I'll be able to throw my burger after all. So I have 4 cups of water. Now, normally when I make this, I don't measure the water, but as you will see from my other video, this is actually homemade chicken gravy that I will be mixing in with this once this is actually cooked. I'll be shredding it so it'll go on pretty nicely. So what I'm going to do is I always put my chicken in. It's gonna be a little bit of a problem, but hold on one second here. Let me wash my hands. It's got chicken all over it now. Hold on. And what that's going to do is you shouldn't ever have things this full in the Instapot for starters. But once that cooks in a few, everything's going to be fine. So let me back this up or bring this down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. Now on this, I don't have any buttons to close. However, a lot of Instapots do. So what I'm going to be doing is I don't need to do the 20 minutes because this will actually cook in the 15. So you can do the meat or you can do the pressure cook for 15 minutes. And what's going to happen is it's going to obviously come to pressure. The pin will come up. And then I'm going to do an instant manual release on this once this actually gets done. So this has started. Like I said, this doesn't have any buttons for me to close. And that's one thing I like about this Instapot versus some of the other ones. My Rio does that too, and so does my 6-quart. So I really like that versus my old ones. But so what's going to happen, I don't need to leave this on keep warm. But what's going to happen is this is going to go ahead and cook in that 15 minutes. Then I will do the manual release. I'll pull the chicken out, get that shredded, put that in that container, and then we'll get dinner started here. All right, so the chicken is cooked. And what I'll be doing is taking this out. I'm going to just put it in a small container real quick. All right. And then what I'm going to do to get this, so this is hot, but while I'm doing this, I want to go ahead and put that on the saute. And I don't have to hit start or anything because that's going to go ahead and take care of that. While I'm doing this, what you do is it's actually 1 tablespoon of, saying this wrong here, I'm getting myself confused. It's 2 tablespoons to 1 cup of water, all right? So I have 4 cups of water in here, so I am going to have to do 8 tablespoons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, there will be another video that you can watch, and this is the instructions to that gravy mix. But that will also be down below, all right? So then what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to go ahead and whisk this up and get all the clumps out of here. And because this is on saute, everything's going to stay like it should as far as the heat and everything like that. And this, like I said, this gets thick. It comes together very, very nicely, very fast. And the reason why we're doing more is Mark takes a lot of the leftovers to dinner for his lunches in the Hot Logic Mini, which I have given away a few of those. And they are a very good thing to have. So I'm going to go ahead, and I have this, and I bought this from Amazon. It's actually in my store. So all you have to do pretty much is you put the piece of meat on there. You put the lid. Now I do want one that actually has a clear top so you can see what the meat's looking like without having to take off the lid. I think if that's... I don't think the breast are as, I probably could have cooked that for the 5 or so minutes longer because the chicken was frozen. But usually you don't have to do this. Usually it just shreds this very, very nicely. All right. Now, as you can see, some of these are still in bigger pieces. But with a chicken breast, I've noticed I don't see that. So this gravy is just about ready. I'm going to put just a little bit more, a couple shakes on here. And it works. You know what I'm saying? It definitely works. Throw that in and go ahead and ouch. Do the other piece. I'm going to kind of break that up a little bit. I can hear this boiling over here. So, like on the breast, I don't usually have this problem. Just to let you know. But if I had that clear lid, I would know. But see how quickly that shreds that up? And you may have to do this a few times, you know, but this works better than having to get out your mixer or, you know, if you had to shred them by your forks or whatever. But that works really nice, as you can see. All right. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in here. Stir this up a little bit more. Keep that going. And go ahead and put this last piece on here and do the same thing, and I'll be right back. All right, so the gravy is done, and I don't want any vegetables, but I'm going to make some peas for Mark, so I put that over there on the stove. And in this way, there's a lot of potatoes left, a lot of the gravy left, so this will be something that will work. And go ahead and put his gravy and the chicken on here. A little bit more chicken. All right. And let me do his peas, which is going to touch. I know people's going to go, oh my gosh, the peas are touching, but we don't worry about that here. All right. So this is the dinner, and that's your homemade chicken gravy with some shredded chicken. I like the breast, I think, better going forth. Some home canned peas, and this is the dinner tonight. So you'll have to let me know if you've made this before. There is actually a video of me making the instant potatoes the way I've been doing them lately. So check all those out. And thank you very, very much for stopping by. I hope you have a very blessed and wonderful day.